Howdy everybody, BygPhattyPlus here, and it's time for a glog. I haven't done one in a while. It's actually been a long while. And a lot of crap has actually occurred over the last 30 days. It's actually been quite hectic. I have no idea what game I'll put up for the background, but whatever. But the last 30 days have been hell, really. It started out with, well, as some of you may know, I go to church. Well, I used to, because we used to be a two-car family, and then my dad's old truck just broke down. It's done. It's done. And we haven't had money to get a new one, so unfortunately, with my dad's hours, he's had to take the other car we have to work, which means we can't go to church because by the time he gets off work, church is done. I mean, they're changing their hours now. They had COVID hours at the time, so maybe now we can. Actually, not right now, but it's been rough. There's like. At the time, we couldn't leave Grandma alone for that length of time, because it used to be where we would go to church at like 11, and my dad would be home in like 20 minutes, so my grandma would be alone for like only 20 minutes. It'd be fine. But since it was like really far earlier in the morning at like 10, my grandma was alone for longer. We didn't want to leave her alone that long, so we would like, nah, we'll just watch it on the stream. But we've been having problems with that. We're trying to, find a way to fix that. And then it's a very odd coincidence, but it's like about 2 weeks after my grandma and dad went to get their first shots, the 2-shot. Everyone got sick. My mom got really sick, she went to the doctor and he said it was bronchitis. And then I got sick. It's like, well, she got both her shots. She got her first shot and then got sick and then got better, got her second shot. We went to get my grandma's and dad's first shots, and then that's when me and Grandma got sick. Well, I got sick first, and it was bad. I thought it was like really bad sinusitis or bronchitis, but as we later learned, it was neither of those. It was actually COVID. I'd actually gotten COVID, and that's why I was feeling so bad. That's why I put up that video. That was like, I don't have the energy to do anything. I was exhausted. My sleep wasn't good at all. I was in pain. I was sick, beyond sick, and it made sense because everything that I ate tasted weird. I mean, there were the only things that tasted normal to me was raw fruits and vegetables. That's the only things that tasted normal. Everything else tasted weird, and it didn't have no taste. It just had a taste that was. It was weird, and that's why I'm thinking maybe it wasn't so much bronchitis that my mom had. Maybe she got COVID. We all caught it, but that's why I was out. I had almost no energy. I felt so bad, and then my grandma started getting sick, and we ended up taking her to the hospital because she was feeling bad. So it was like, okay, let's take her to the hospital. She wants to go. Normally she don't want to go to the hospital. She actually said, okay, let's go. And they kept her for a couple of days. In the meantime, me and Dad just has back pain and a cough. My mom was getting better, but before we went to pick my grandma up from the hospital a few days later, we all got tested. My mom came out negative, but me and my dad came out positive for COVID. So, I mean, he seems to be fine right now, so I think he's just getting the mildness of it, back pain and coughs. Me and Ma is probably the ones that took the brunt of it, and then Grandma caught it, which sucks because, like I said, she's 94, so they discharged her like about, I think, not even 2 days later, and she was still feeling bad. She was still real weak, to the point to we found out how weak she was when we were all woken up to her in the middle of the night to her screaming for help because she fell. I think it was also a combination of the socks she was wearing and the floor in the bathroom. But she fell, and I still had no strength. It was like 4 in the morning. I had just went to bed around 2. I was still getting over being sick, and it's like I had to lift her up. Oh, that's the other thing. When she went to the hospital, they did a COVID test, and she turned out positive for COVID. So yeah, that's lovely. But it was difficult for me to lift her up. She had no strength. She was, in essence, sandbagging. Because I don't want to use the other word at this time, but she was sandbagging, didn't offer any help, and me and Dad struggled to get her back in her chair, and we were struggling to get her to eat. She didn't have any appetite, which started making me think of she had what I had, because in the beginning of my illness, I had no appetite, none. And when I did eat, like I said, everything tasted weird, which to her, everything was tasting weird too. So we're thinking she had it, and the hospital just discharged her too early. And, she was just really bad, to the point to where we had to call an ambulance to come and pick her up. And which, of course, I'm a person who wears my emotions on my sleeve. Everyone can tell. So when they took her, I had a nervous breakdown. I was in tears. I was scared. It wasn't exactly a fun day. She's actually been in there good Lord, over a week now. And the doctors say her vitals are good. Her blood pressure sometimes is a little low. Sometimes her sugar is a little off. But they said everything seems to be fine. It's just the fact that she's being stubborn and not wanting to do things that the doctors tell her to. Like, she's supposed to be doing physical therapy because she's so weak because of the COVID that she needs physical therapy, and she's not wanting to do it. That and the physical therapist they had for her wasn't exactly a nice person. It's like my mom called to check on her, and she was having physical therapy at that time, and actually, the guy actually was yelling at my grandma to hang up the phone. He was like, hang up the phone! So my mom said, let me talk to him. And she put she laid down the law and said, you have to be patient with my grandmother. She's hard of hearing. You do not yell at her. And it sucks because one of the main problems is, we believe, is why she's lacking so much motivation, is there's no one visiting her to motivate her directly. And that's because, being that she did test positive for COVID, they put her on the COVID floor, or one of the COVID floors. And each floor is different at the hospital, and the one she's on, they don't allow people to visit. Because even if you've been fully vaccinated, like my mom has, they don't allow people to visit because you know, you could, even if you've been vaccinated, you could spread it around and make people sick. And so, yeah, it's basically it's basically, you know, they don't allow people to visit, so we can't go up there and visit her directly. So we have to talk to her on the phone, and it's a little difficult. It's like she fluctuates between being grumpy, being happy, and being doom and gloom. And it's like day before yesterday, we were. Oh, sorry, that was my back scratch off moving it. Day before yesterday, she was all happy and everything. We got her to laugh, which was great. That really helped our mood, my mood specifically. And then she was being grumpy. Hey, here, just get out of the way. And then there was today, you know, yesterday she's being grumpy, and then today she's being all doom and gloom again. You know, it's like, oh, I'm dying. It's like, no, you're not dying. You're just in pain, and there she's having trouble with her stomach, probably, you know, because all the medicine she's taking is making her stomach upset. But it's frustrating because, you know, it's a crapshoot of what nurse we get. We either get a very mean, lazy nurse who doesn't want to do anything, who gets frustrated, or we get one who's so incredibly nice. It's like it's almost like they're a saint, and it's just such a crapshoot anymore. And it's just so frustrating because, yeah, it's we also have to worry about the fact that she still needs physical therapy after she gets out of the hospital. She's going to be very weak. And we had some options for some places that she could go for rehabilitation. One was really nice. We wanted her to go there because it was 5 stars, and it was close by. It was very close by. We could visit her every day. Unfortunately, because she's COVID, they aren't taking her. So the only other location is another one that's close by, but the reviews we found out online are atrocious. It's like maybe 1 5-star review among a sea of 1 and 2 stars. And a lot of them talk about abuse, neglect, not getting their meds on time, and I'm like, oh hell no. No, we're not sending her there, because more than likely you all hear about me on the news going to jail after destroying an entire rehabilitation center because someone decided to hit my grandmother or forget to give her medicines and made her sick. It's why I will never ever send any of my family to an old folks home or anything, because the second that were to happen, I would probably be in jail for murder, if not manslaughter, because you're not going to sit there and be lazy and not do your job, or say, hey, I'm going to hurt someone because, hey, they're older and no one cares. I'm like, bull crap, I care. You hit my grandmother, I don't care if you're 7'2", 500 pounds. I'm going to put you 6 feet under, same as everyone else. I don't care. So we're trying to work out getting in-home physical therapy, where someone actually comes to the house and helps us and everything and teaches us how, and then we help her, you know, basically like 2-3 times a week or something, I don't know. We get someone to come in and, yeah. Which is going to be difficult because my grandma is stubborn. Which I guess is a good thing. I haven't been to work in like, shoot, but how long? How long have I not been at work? It's like I got sick like Saturday before last. I'm looking at like 2 weeks out. I'm still not going to go back to work. Not just because I, you know, hate the job. I mean, everyone knows that. I mean, I've been there too long. But it's just the fact that Mom needs moral support right now. She needs moral support right now because of because of everything. She needs someone there, and I know I'm not very good moral support because I'm just as scared and freaked out as she is. So it's difficult. So it's I'm not eager to go back to work. I don't want to leave my mom alone because Dad, he is. I love my dad, and in a pinch, my dad is good. Like when you need him the most, he's good. But right now, it's a fact that he's not very good when it comes to comforting. He's not. I mean, when Mary passed away, he tried his best with everyone. But it's just a matter of, hey, there's a lot of people posting on Discord right now. What the hell? Yeah. But it's just a matter of, he's, like I said, when it comes to the absolute most important stuff, he's good. But when it comes to like emotional support and everything, he's not very good. He tries, but my dad's an old country boy. He doesn't do emotional support too well. So it's like Mom wants someone that is a little better at it. I'm not. I know. Again, I'm not very good at it because I wear my emotions on my sleeve, so it's very difficult for me to help people. That's why I envy those people who can, as it were, go Vulcan. Basically not show any emotion or not show much emotion. I envy those people because they seem boring. They don't show much emotion, but when crap's going down, it doesn't seem like anything bothers them. I'm pretty sure that when stuff happens, it does bother them, but they have a better time of not showing it or not making it look like it does bother them. It's like me, I'm useless in that aspect. Like I said, I wear my emotions on my sleeve. It's difficult for me. So when something happens, I'm bothered. I'm worried. Even more so after Mary passed. So it's been a problem. But, it's like because Grandma's doing good, otherwise she's just being stubborn. It's, it's a little bit better on my mental state right now. I mean, I'm still stressed and worried, but, And it's like people keep telling me, oh, you should prepare for the worst. And I'm like, that's not something you tell someone. It's like the one thing I do know, don't ever tell someone that. You're there to try to make them feel better, try to help them out. Yes, that is completely possible. But you don't tell someone that because you're trying to help their mental state, not break it down further. And you say, oh, you need to be prepared for the worst. Like, no, you need to shut up. You gotta help them with their mental state. Their mental state is more important than the truth. Because, we all have that thought in the back of our head. I know, my grandma's 94 years old. I know. There is a big possibility of the worst. But the thing is, if I sit there and try and focus on that, I'm going to not be very good emotional support for my mother, and I'm certainly not going to be good emotional support for myself. I'm going to not be very good at it because I'm going to be useless. So I choose not to think about that part. I choose not to focus on, or even think about the worst case scenario, because if I do so, that could end up not going well for my mind. So yeah. So I'm focusing on the fact that, hey, her vitals are good, and other than the fact she's being stubborn and sometimes suppressed, everything's fine. I know there's going to be a lot of work into, helping her with her physical therapy, which is probably why I'm still not going to go back to work, because I'm probably going to be dead tired after 45 minutes of trying to get her to exercise. And, also keep an eye on her when she has to go to the bathroom, make sure she doesn't fall. I'm going to buy one of those little chair potties that the hospitals have that they put up next to your bed when you aren't going to make it to the bathroom and you need to go, but you can't use a bedpan. I'm going to get one of those, sit next to her bed, empty it every time she goes, because I'm not going to deal with that smell. Basically, just as an emergency thing, we do want her to move on her own, get to the bed, get to the bathroom on her own. It's just, she just needs to get stronger now, because the COVID, which they're saying the COVID and pneumonia took a lot out of her. So it's going to be a lot of work there, and yeah. So I've been trying to keep my mind occupied, as it were, during all of this. For me talking about anxiety, keeping my mind occupied, it's talking about it. And I'm sitting here, let me talk about it. It's just frustrating, You're trying to focus your mind on things, and it's hard because it's like right there. You're always worried about it. But you can't keep focus on all the time, because if you do, it's just going to mess up your mind. You're gonna be stressed out all the time, and I'm already stressed out to begin with, so I don't need it worse. So I've been trying to focus on other things, and I've been trying slowly to get back into streaming and recording, because as many of you know, I would like streaming and recording to be my job and not just a hobby, because even more so now with COVID being around, I would rather be at home away from all the insanity. I would rather, like I said, I would rather be at home, not having to go out and work among people who, could be positive. It's just safer, and the fact that it's a better job. If I can get the views, it'd be a lot more fun. It's something I would rather do, So like I said, I've been focusing on doing streaming. I started back streaming here. What was it? Yesterday. I got that. I did 3 hours. I wanted to do more, but I was actually really tired, so I didn't. I don't know how streaming is going to go with taking care of Grandma while she's recovering. I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm going to do my dangest to figure it out. But yeah, I've also been trying to go back into editing. I need to record some videos. I haven't gotten around to it. Today we were doing some cleaning, because trying to get the house ready for her to come back when she's well. I don't want her coming home until she is well. That's just the thing. I guess we just gotta fight with the doctors to make sure she's well. We don't want them to discharge her early again like they did the first time. They discharged her early and she was not ready. So, focusing on, like I said, I'm going to try and focus on recording. Maybe tomorrow, depending on between cleaning and whatnot. Try and get some of that done. Keep my mind focused. And, yeah. I've also been eating differently lately. It's like I've been eating more fruits and everything and home cooked stuff. I think I've only eaten out once this week. Not because, I can't go out. I can't because I'm still technically under COVID regulations until for at least a couple more days. And then I can actually leave the house, which I'm looking forward to. I mean, I'm not going to go to work by any means, but I will, probably have to go out and pick something up. So, just to get out of the house would be nice because, when you're... when you have to go out and work and everything and all that, you don't want to go out. But the second someone tells you you can't go out, you can't leave the house, then you're like, I need to get out. I need to get out. It's like suddenly you're going stir crazy. You're going mad. You're you want to get out, but you're not allowed to. It's the little kid in all of us. When we're home and we're not allowed to go out, we want to go out. When we're allowed to go out, but we have to go out, we don't want to go out. But yeah, I'm just I'm getting better physically. I'm a lot better than I was. There's a lingering cough, which people will have from COVID. There's a lingering cough. I cough, sneeze is because of my allergies. I sneeze all the time, but I have a lingering cough. So yeah, but I'm fine. I'm not ill anymore. I'm not tired. Not physically. I'm more of a mental tired. I'm more of mentally exhausted because of everything that's gone on. So from being sick and then worried about grandma because she's 94 and all that. And I know, and it's, she's old. She's going to take things far worse, which I understand completely. And it's something I have to deal with. But right now, I definitely don't want anyone to be, leaving, if you get my drift, because I still haven't mentally recovered from Mary leaving. And if Grandma were to go, it would probably break me. I know it will break my mom. Which is why, like I said, I'm not going to go back to work anytime soon because Mom needs some kind of help. Mental support, mostly. And I also I want someone to be here with Mom at all times. That way, should anything happen, someone's here to, make sure she's okay. And of course, when Grandma, and I say when, not if, when Grandma comes home, she's going to need a lot of help. Because my mom has physical issues. She's not handicapped in any way, but she has issues where she can't lift too heavy a weight. So if Grandma has a problem and, falls, God forbid, there's going to be no way Mom's going to be able to lift her up. She's not going to be able to. So I have to be there to be able to lift her up to make sure, she can get up and back into her chair and whatnot. So I've already done decided. When it comes to worse and they ask me, hey, are you going to come back? I'll tell them no. Not right now. Because this is going to take a lot of time to work with. And that's fine by me because I don't want to be... I want to get out of the house, but I don't want to work among the public. I don't want to work among the public because there's always that chance that you're going to work with someone who's going to end up what, I don't really... Who's going to... I'm watching a friend on stream play Teardown. And And yeah, it's a funny game. It's something I should probably get. No, I've also been playing a couple of, well, not a couple, but one indie game. It's actually a demo that I've been playing right now, called, what the hell is it called? Black Skylands Origins. It's a top-down kind of, how would you describe it? I don't know. You fly airships around fighting monsters and a pirate group called the Falcons. Basically, think of them as like the Negan's group from The Walking Dead. They go around demanding tribute from people all the time, and if you don't give the tribute, they attack you and whatnot. And you got to go out and fight them, basically. But it's on airships in the sky and everything. And I like the story, and of course, being it's steampunk and airships, I love that. The demos still have like a few problems, like it's difficult to control the airship, very difficult actually. And there's also, I think, there's like a memory leak issue where after you play it for a certain amount of time, the game starts to stutter and the frame rate drops to 1 and becomes completely unplayable. So I basically I took a break from it because, like I said, it was very frustrating when I'm sitting there trying to clear out an area of enemies, and the game suddenly just goes, here, we're going to go with 1 frame rate right now. No. But then again, it's a demo, so that's what it's there for. It's there for people to test and give their feedback on. But still, I've been playing that. I've been playing a little bit more Monster Hunter than Final Fantasy, because all my classes in Final Fantasy all my combat classes aren't max, and they're at item level 500 minimum. And I figured, once they're all at item level 500, I don't really care. Until the next expansion drops, I haven't really been playing it much. I've been trying to play my alt. Yes, I have an alt because I wanted to see how the story changed since the revamp and everything, but I haven't really had much want to play Final Fantasy because, like I said, it's like I'm kind of like burned down at the moment. So, like I said, I've been playing Monster Hunter a bit more, playing STO because they got those events going, and FOMO, fear of missing out. What else? I've been playing Star Trek. Starfleet Command. Forgot how annoying the missions were in that game. Forgot how annoying they were. How cryptic some of the missions were. It's like, and what you needed to do. Learn it. I've learned though that if it's like if y'all ever play it, just get yourself any kind of missile ship, a drone ship. Basically, all they have is phasers and missiles. And you think, well, what about photon torpedoes and all that? Like, don't worry about it. Just get yourself missiles. Get yourself any ship that has a ton of missiles, because those are powerful. And don't get anything bigger than a heavy cruiser. If you go for dreadnoughts or battleships, the game gets ultra hard at that point, and you can't win. Even if you have the battleship, you ain't gonna win. The game's like, no, we're gonna send battleships after you, and your one lone battleship ain't gonna win for squat. It's better to stay with a heavy cruiser, especially one with missiles. It makes it so much easier. So much easier. I can just missile something and be done with it. So like I said, I've been playing more single player games. been wanting to play more. I haven't had time because it takes a long time to play. But I've been wanting to play more Morrowind. I have the what the hell is it called? Open Morrowind mod installed, which makes the graphics better, makes it work better on modern systems. Been running through it as a paladin, basically. I called it an angel warrior because I made it. I designed the character after my little sister. I made her a Nord. But I've been running through it as a pally. I don't have any healing or magic spells yet. Hadn't really gotten around to messing with that, mainly because I've been working for the Fighters Guild, because fighting's more important. But I think I'm probably going to get to make a spell at some point, and then, yeah, start messing with all that. Let's see. I haven't been playing my Switch much lately. Actually, my mom's been playing my Switch more, even though she's already got one. She's got two, technically, because the first one had issues with charging. So, but she's been playing basically mine and hers on Animal Crossing. I don't really care. Like I said, I haven't had time to play on my Switch. I would like to. I just haven't had time, or the want to, because the TV that I could play it on is a little far away. It's a small TV, so it's kind of hard to see everything. And I could play the game on like handheld version. I'm playing. First of all, the game I'm playing is Immortals: Phoenix Rising right now. Great game, but it's hard to see on the little handheld screen. It's actually a lot hard to see. But I want to play it on my bigger screen, but like I said, I got junk in front of me, so I can't move out the way. So it's kind of restricting me from being able to play, because I can't get close enough to the screen to see. And plus, the TV screen is actually right friggin' behind me. It's like where I'm actually looking at the monitor as I'm recording this right now. The TV is behind me. If you've seen one of my personal vlogs I talked about Mary, you'd see it. The TV is like right behind me. I can't, it's like I can't sit there and watch stuff on the TV or on my computer and play that, because it's awkward. I was hoping at some point to rearrange my room to put my two monitors from my computer and my TV, all mount them on the wall, or at least two of the monitors. I'm thinking probably my second monitor and the TV, so I can play and pay attention to what's on the computer. But yeah, getting the time to do that is kind of impossible at the moment. So yeah, I've basically been having trouble with that. It's like I said, it's difficult to play the game on the little screen. I have like a stand I can sit in and I can play it right here at my desk, but the screen is small. And it's not like, the 3DS games or PS Vita games, where the screens are all the UI and all the items on the screen are adjusted so that way you can see them clearly on the small screen. It's like you're playing these games that are meant for big screen TVs on a tiny screen. That's how the Switch is. And it's kind of frustrating. Because I would also like to get back into playing Starlink Battle for Atlas, which I like too. Because it's in space, starfighters and ships and all that. But again, it's the same issue of stuff being in the way. Like I said, that's what I've been occupying myself with. That and cleaning the house, getting things cleaned up, because, can't really focus on... It's easier to focus on doing physical labor than it is, like, video games or watching videos. It's like lately, when I was sick, I had no energy to do anything. So I would just sit in my chair here, grab a pillow, put it behind my head in my chair here, and basically just kind of lay back in the chair and watch videos and pass out to them, because when I was sick, I had no energy, so I was basically just laying in the chair, and I'm like, just snoring, sleeping. Then as I got more energy, I was able to, you know, sit up and play more games and whatnot. But it's still, you know, it's still mentally frustrating to try and get into a game, because I'm still worried about my grandmother. And it's like, she's doing fine, so it's like, I shouldn't be that worried, but yet I can't help but be worried. So it's easier to get into physical things, like cleaning the house and getting stuff ready. But it's at the same time, it's kind of hard, because you're tired. You're mentally exhausted. It's like, it's not fun to wake up mentally exhausted. It's not fun at all. It's literally not. You wake up tired. You wake up wondering, what are you gonna do? You know, how bad is today gonna be? You know, it's like people who suffer from depression. It's, you know, you wake up tired every day, wondering, you know, how bad is today going to be? Except with this, it's not just depression. It's with this, it's not just you know, being depressed. It's, you know, you're worrying about a family member. And again, I don't want to hear people say, "Oh, you should prepare for the worst." I don't want to hear that crap. Okay? Because yes, I already know that, but I'm trying to focus on the positives and everything. And anyone who comes at you with doom and gloom, says, "Oh, you need to prepare for this and all this," you need to shut up. You know, the last thing you should ever be looking for is to make other people as miserable as you. Because that's the one thing I don't want to do. I don't ever want someone else to feel as miserable as I am. So I try to I try to help people when I can. I try to make people laugh when I can. I try to, you know, make them feel better. The last thing I want to do is make them feel down and depressed. And it's like, I know there's some people who are just, they're born realists. They're focused on reality. They're not going to sugarcoat it. The problem is, in situations like this, you need sugar. You need, not like an overwhelming amount, but you need enough to where it will help them, you know, make it. So yeah, I know some people are gonna be a little mad, like, "Oh, you need to face reality." Like, you need to shut up. You know, I'm gonna focus on the positive. I'm gonna focus on the fact that all the doctors are happy with her vitals and everything. She just needs to stop being freaking stubborn, and we'll focus on her getting home and getting her physical therapy done, so she can move around again, and everything will go back to mostly, you know, what it used to be. But that's just some things I need to get off my chest. I know it was a ramble, but that's what I always do on my glogs. I ramble. It's what I always do. Anyway, I hope you've, I mean, I don't know if I'll see how anyone would have enjoyed listening to this. It's more of just a ramble, just me getting my stuff off my chest. But until the next, whatever I do, this is BygPhattyPlus, sayonara. Y'all have yourselves a good day.